Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome when you get back into another Ragestream with Amber. We are now up to part 6, which, oh my god, this just keeps going. So we're going to be jumping into it, seeing what Amber is up to, and hopefully cutting the nearly 3-hour live stream to at least an hour or so. I hope so. So we're going to get straight into it and see what she's up to, shall we?
So I don't know, press one if you guys know the tea, that's currently going on with my aunt. Please press one, just so I know I'm not talking into the void. Um, yes, JB, my aunt. I know, window. I know. I'm just I'm trying to just live my life over here. I'm like rearranging my living room. Next thing I know, my aunt's like popping off at the seams, which she did this years ago before. Mm, she's unwell. I'll say that. She's unwell. Um,
It is genuinely crazy to me that this woman will constantly talk about being mental health shamed, but the moment she gets to do it to someone else to discredit them, she will jump on it like a rabid dog.
so long story short, actually, it is a very long story. I met my aunt in person, from my remembrance when I was 17. And I was living in California at the time. And I ended up, once leaving foster care when I was 18, I ended up moving all the way to Oklahoma to live with her. And I did it because my mom lived with her. And I wanted to live with my mom and near my mom. I'm telling you, it was horrible. Like, my aunt is impossible to get along with, 100%. Especially, when you get an 18-year-old up in there. We did not vibe at all. At all.
Not Amber of all people talking about how her aunt is difficult to get along with. Like, Amber, look in the goddamn mirror. Every single person that has come into your life has said that at one time or another about you.
XL Hoodie, I lived with both. My aunt kicked my mom out, and I was on, obviously, I've always stuck up for my mom. So then my aunt kicked me out because I was sticking up for my mom. So we both ended up living with my grandma. So yeah. It was impossible for a lot of different reasons. Long story short, we just did not get along at all.
I do know a little bit about this situation because I've heard a couple things, and I do typically try to stay away from reaction channels and the videos and the live streams until I can give an authentic opinion without outside influence. But I do know about Aunt Tammy cheating, and even though I don't agree with what she did, because I think anyone who cheats is just pathetic in my opinion, I just can't believe that Amber would go through that in her childhood, go through all of these supposedly horrendous things, and then blackmail her aunt with potential violence in the future to get something out of her. And I'm not saying the husband was physically abusive, but even if he wasn't, an abusive relationship can turn physically violent at any given time. When you have power over someone and you think that you have full control over them, they become less than human to you. So, what would happen if you had told him and he became physically aggressive towards your aunt? Were you going to step up to him and try to defend her? Would you try to call the police to break up the situation? What happens if you did call the police and the police didn't make it in time and then your aunt got hurt or worse? Because I don't think for a second Amberlynn would take any accountability whatsoever. If anything, it would just be another thing to make herself a victim. Like, oh, I had to watch that. I had to see that. I had to hear that. I had to endure that, knowing full well that she was the reason that could potentially have happened.
So I'm fucking 34 now. Hi. But since then, it's very on and off again of talking and dynamics, whatever it may be. Um, but me and her, we were good. We were bold of you to say she's unwell. She is. We both have the same DNA, love. So I mean, I will literally call myself unwell where it is. I will admit to it. So
That doesn't make it excusable. Like, it just makes you a hypocrite. You don't get to cry about mental health shaming and then turn around and do it to someone else.
you're being so reactive instead of just sitting with this. I'm being reactive because I feel like I'm so tired of people forming a narrative for me. It's time to use my voice. For so long I didn't.
Maybe there's a reason why there's a narrative, Amber. Maybe there's a reason why over a dozen people have come out and say that you have abused them.
So, even though my aunt, like literally in 2019, all over the Kiwi farms, like saying things that weren't true, saying things about me that she had no idea what she was talking about, like it was unhinged. Um, like just really unhinged things, like genuinely. So then it was like bouncing to, oh my God, I'm about to move to Oklahoma and we can finally like, because we were building a good niece and aunt relationship, you know? So we were finally like, hell yeah, like we're gonna be able to like hang out and like see each other, blah blah. Long story short, before I moved here, it was like 2 months before I moved here. My mom and my aunt, who are sisters, so Mama Lynn and Tammy got in a fight 2 months before I got here. Not a physical fight, but like an argument. And it was a big enough argument that my mom was genuinely hurt.
Interesting that you only mentioned that your mother was hurt. What about Aunt Tammy? If the two of them got into an argument to the point where they're not talking to each other, why is it that you only concern yourself with how your mother feels and not how your aunt feels?
My mom is also very much the person who forgives everybody all the time. So it's like my mom is that person. She likes everyone. Do you guys know that Justin Bieber song? My mama don't like you and she likes everyone. Yeah, that is my mom. My mom likes everyone. Um,
I'm getting a weird vibe from Amber right now because she's rambling and she's prefacing, and she usually does that when she knows she's telling a lie. So she's either lying about something or omitting key details. So if she's hyping up Mama Lynn right now, I feel like Mama Lynn is probably the aggressor of the story. I'm not saying for sure, but I feel like that's the reason because Amber wouldn't be hyping her up like that.
my mom does not even like her own sister. My mom does not like her own sister. Mom, I'm sorry for putting you on blast, but it's time to stick up for you because I know you're not going to do it, Diva, and I'm going to do it for you.
Of course you do, Amber. It has nothing to do with you, but you feel entitled to speak about it.
So yeah, my mom and her 2 months before I moved here got into a fight. Argument, sorry, not a physical fight, but like an argument with their mouths.
It is a good thing that Amber did clarify that because we all know that Mama Lynn is not above throwing hands with people.
And I was like, I'm not gonna get involved. Like, I'm so excited. I get to be around my mom. I'm gonna get to be around my aunt, and I'm like pumped, So I was not involved. Me and my aunt were still super excited for me to move here. She was like, I'm gonna come over every day. Like, we were just excited, right? So I ended up coming here. And my aunt did come over the first day I was here. It was even while Feline was still here. So she met Feline, the whole nine. And it was very awkward because my mom was also here and I could tell they were just like they were still arguing. I was like, oh my God, this is not a thing. But you know what? At least they got together for me. I was hoping they were gonna like stop like this whole thing because I was here and we could all just get along and be like a happy family. That's what I was hoping for. But it turns out no.
God, she has such main character syndrome. Like, seriously, how are you going to show up a place and expect two people who have been beefing for months on end just to start talking again? Like, that doesn't just happen. You're not that special, Amber.
So I saw my aunt that one time. We all ended up going out to eat the next day, and I was like, okay, so maybe they're gonna like forgive each other and we're just gonna move on. Like sisters argue, like it is what it is, right? Well, that didn't end up happening. So I moved here the beginning of October. I didn't end up seeing my aunt again until like Thanksgiving. So it was almost 2 months later. So I went to her house for Thanksgiving. I saw all my family. It was so good. I saw my cousins. I saw her. Like I was laughing. I was talking. I was engaged with everyone. And I thought everything was genuinely fine. So after Thanksgiving, I would message my aunt and I would just be like, how are you feeling? I know you had COVID. Like, how are you doing? She would like respond, but then like stop responding. She would never reach out to me first. Finally, in February of 2024, I sent her a picture of me and her from Thanksgiving, and I was just like, "Love you, miss you," and all she did was heart it, and she never like responded. And I think I took that as a hint. I was like, "Okay, so we're doing this thing where we're gonna be mad at Amberlynn because she came from Mama Lynn's womb." Like my aunt and my mom were having the dramatics. My aunt and my mom were having the beef. My aunt and my mom were going through it. Like it was sisterly argument. Like it had nothing to do with me at all. But somehow my aunt was putting me in the middle of it. I wasn't rude to my aunt. I didn't say anything mean to my aunt. I had so much fun with my aunt at Thanksgiving. Like it was so good to see her and my cousins and my family. And I genuinely don't know why she had to like put me in the middle of it. My aunt is very much that person that's like, you need to be on my side. If not, then like you're outcasted from the family.
Yeah, no, I don't believe it. Like, I straight up call bullshit because if she was willing to come and visit you, months after a fight and not talking with her sister while her sister is there, she was interested in seeing you. And then months later, invited you to Thanksgiving with your mother. So if their relationship is still rocky and they're not really talking with one another, she is still willing to adore that in her own home to interact with you. So why would she stop talking to you all of a sudden? I don't believe that. Like something happened in between Thanksgiving and the time in which the two of you stopped talking.
But I kind of took the hint. I was like, okay, if she doesn't want to talk to me, like I can't force her to talk to me. Like at this point, like I don't know what to do. I was starting to feel like shit. Like Easter came along, right? Easter of 2024. She invited the whole family. The only two people she didn't invite was me and my mom because she's in a fight with my mom. Like she's in an argument with my mom and she's taking it out on me.
Yeah, now I really don't believe that. When has Amber ever respected someone's boundaries? Like, it's not believable whatsoever. Like, this is just one big bullshit story.
She also didn't invite one of her daughters because she's also gonna do all the family drama. That's not my like thing. But my aunt is unwell. My aunt is unwell.
That is straight up just a pathetic low blow. Like, oh, she doesn't talk to her daughter. There's a reason for that, but I don't want to get into family drama. Yeah, of course you don't, because there's probably a justifiable reason. Because if there was a reason and it was stupid or it made Aunt Tammy look bad, you know Amber would be saying it.
What was the fight about? That's not for me to say.
If it is not your place to speak on it, Amber, then why did you bring it up to a public audience?
So today, I my mom calls me and she was like, "Do you see what's happening?" And I was like, "What?" Because I'm telling you, I have tried so hard to just like not be on social media the last few days because I was like, I need a fucking break. Like life is rough right now, okay?
I honestly do not know why Amber continues to say this stuff because nobody believes her. Not a single person. Do you honestly believe for a second Amber is not in the reaction channels? She's not in the live stream. She's not checking out the posts and checking Kiwi Farms and Reddit. Like, not a single person with any, just like half common sense. Like, you don't even need full common sense, just a couple brain cells to figure out that Amber's lying.
So my mom's like, "Do you see what your aunt is doing?" When I found out, my jaw was on the ground. I was like, "Mom, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna message her? Do you want me to? Because I might pop off and I'm a little scared of that right now." So my aunt's been like,
I'm sorry, what? Like, the entitlement from Amber is crazy. Like, your mother is not responsible for what your aunt says, and it's not her responsibility to scold your aunt like she's some sort of toddler. Like, it's not her responsibility to put her in the naughty corner. Like, fight your own battles. Goddamn pathetic.
doing some weird stuff, trying to reach out to Snowflake and like, I don't know, out of literal nowhere. What happened was my aunt literally saw me in distress in my live stream, hyperventilating, anxiety, crying about Emily, literally heartbroken. And my aunt literally sat there and said, hmm, how do I make this worse?
It is pretty obvious to see Amber's mindset at this point. Like, she wants to go back with Emily, and this is just causing a wedge, or at least a bigger wedge, in between the two of them. So she's assuming negative intent, when in reality, it's her aunt trying to defend her and trying to get her away from an abusive person that Amber herself said was abusive. So if Emily was mentally, physically, and emotionally abusive, supposedly Amber, why would you want to get back in that toxic relationship, in that toxic cycle? Why would you want to continue doing those things over and over again? Why is it a bad thing that your aunt is trying to break that cycle?
That's unwell. That's unwell. And I did nothing to this woman. I did nothing to this woman. Again, last time I messaged her, I took the hint. I sent her a picture of her and I, February of 2024, and I said, "Miss you and love you," and she did not respond. I took the hint. But I messaged her today, and this is what I said. I said, "I'm reaching out because I truly don't understand what's going on." Before I actually read this whole message, my mom messaged her too today and was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Because my mom is not a drama. My mom does not do the drama. My mom does not like this. My mom does not deserve this. You guys love Mama Lynn because she deserves to be loved. My mom, no, does not need this in her life at all. But my mom messaged her and was like, "What is happening?" My aunt popped off some wild, like unhinged, like narrative that isn't even real. Like genuinely, like I'm scared for my aunt. She almost sounds like she's like not fully sober. Like that's the best. That's how it seems to me. Like the things that she is saying is just like no, the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Amber, this is such a pathetic attempt at manipulation, and nobody's gonna fall for it. Like, dude, straight up, just address the reasons why the two of you aren't talking, because there is a reason why, and stop trying to discredit her and make her out to be an alcoholic who has relapsed, or a mentally ill person who doesn't know what they're talking about. Because you don't like it when people say those things about you. So why are you trying to do it to someone else? Like, this is such a narcissistic tactic that is commonly used, known as Darvo. You're attacking the person to discredit them, and instead of addressing the reason why, you're going to continue playing the victim and shifting the blame onto them as if you are the one that has not done anything wrong, when you have years of history of lying about your aunt, lying to your aunt, smearing your family members, dating multiple people, and abusing them. Like, we've seen it all for ourselves. We're not going to fall for it.
Anyways, so I reached out to her today and I said, I'm reaching out because I truly don't understand what's going on. We have already talked through and forgiven each other for anything that happened years and years ago. Since I've been in Oklahoma, I have done nothing to you, yet you've chosen to ignore me because of an argument you and my mom are both going through, which has absolutely nothing to do with me at all.
That doesn't make any sense to me, because why would your aunt continue talking to you for months after the fight if the fight was so bad that she wanted to stop talking to both you and your mother, even if you had nothing to do with said fight? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, there has to be a reason why she stopped talking to you specifically. And it's either a combination of something that you did or your mother did. And I would assume that it's probably you talking shit, you probably taking your mother's side, which is understandable. You are a user and you need your mother's car in order to get around. And three, probably only giving her small talk until you want something, and then you would ramp up the conversation till you get said thing, and then it would go back to small talk.
I went to Thanksgiving a couple years ago and thought everything was fine, but to my surprise, you have decided to outcast me, and because of the issues you and my mom are dealing with. I'm not the type to take sides. This is petty. We only live once, and family drama is not something I ever want to engage in. Now you're going online making negative comments about me, my mom, and my ex. You've seen how much I've been struggling lately via my live streams. You've seen the pain I'm in because my aunt, like, she's known for watching every single thing I post online, which is already really weird. You've seen the pain I'm in, even breaking down in front of thousands of people. I was crying and hyperventilating, truly heartbroken over everything that has been going on. And instead of offering kindness, you've decided to make it worse. You quite literally saw me hurting and said, you know what? Let's make it worse. That is the most unhinged thing I've ever seen. I don't know what you gain from this, but it's hurtful, it's unnecessary, and it says far more about you than it does about me. That is wrong, and I deserve better from someone I call my aunt. Her response was, funny how you reach out now, but not for the last 2 years. Goodbye, Amber.
Yeah, so by the sounds of it, it was mostly number three. She was talking to her aunt to get something out of her, and then she would disappear for days, weeks on end until she wanted something else, and then it was a rinse and repeat cycle until her aunt got sick of it.
So I responded and said, I did reach out. You didn't respond. Since Thanksgiving of 2023, every time we spoke, it was because I messaged you first. Then you stopped responding altogether in February 2024. What was I to do with that? I can take a hint. Of course, I'll reach out to a family member of mine who is bashing me online out of absolutely nowhere after they've seen me in distress. Like, duh. Like, my aunt is unhinged. Um, like, it's I don't know. But long story short, like I've seen her, 3 times since I've been in Oklahoma, and it was all in 2023. So if you guys are wanting to get tea from her, like you're not going to get any because I have not seen her. I do not speak to her. Last time I spoke to her was February 2024. So any sort of tea that you're receiving from her is all fabricated, untrue, because like genuinely we don't talk. I have not spoken to her. She knows nothing about me. Genuinely, she treated me as if I didn't exist, all because I came from my mom's womb, because they're the ones in an argument. So, yeah, I just had to get that out because I just I genuinely just think it's like the weirdest thing what's happening right now, and I'm like, what is actually happening? Oh my god. It is like so weird to me. And it's like I purposely, I purposely did not speak about her. Like when people are like, how come you don't see like talk about Aunt Tammy or how come Aunt Tammy, Aunt Tammy, Aunt Tammy? I purposely did not respond to her because like or respond about her because like I respect people's privacy.
Girl, you know nothing about privacy. You constantly talk shit about anyone and everyone. If you think you can make yourself a victim or make yourself look better in someone else's eyes, you will throw that shit out there immediately. Like, I don't understand how anyone in your private life can trust you.
I your aunt is spilling about it all. Your aunt is spilling about it all out on you. Huh? Where at? We could do a live reaction.
It is funny to see how Amber acts in DMs in comparison to how she acts on the live. Like, you're messaging your aunt talking about how hurt you are, how genuinely sad this is, and X, Y, and Z. Meanwhile, you're like, oh, is that true? Let's react. Let's do this. Like, you're enjoying the exposing. Like, you enjoy this shit. It's so manipulative. My God.
Okay. I mean, I could just like do it on speaker.
Oh, I've not heard his voice in so long. If this is gonna be about drama from when I was like a teenager or my early 20s, like I'm gonna be so bored. It's gonna make like it's gonna exhaust me because I'm literally gonna be in 5 years. I'm gonna be 40.
I don't know, girl. That's some pretty wishful thinking if you ask me.
So we have to figure out like what actually matters. So let's see.
It's Terror time.
Okay.
Instagram.
But unlike Jordy, I have plans. I have things that I have to do tonight. So I don't know how long I could do this.
By plan, she means probably going to bingo again for 8 hours, eating a bunch of fast food while being in a smoking area while complaining about her breathing being bad. Meanwhile, her poor elderly dog is at home, not going outside, going for walks, and pissing and shitting on the floor.
Guys, this is just so hectic. You know?
And it's always funny that Jordy gives people a platform that's like so against me, like Britt, Erica, now my own blood. But yet that one time I wanted to like call him. He was like, I'm so scared of what she's gonna say. Yet I've been a YouTuber for 13 years. You just don't want to platform the right people. You want to platform the people that are like against me. And you're like, oh, your eyes scare me, like genuinely. Okay.
Use the phone.
She's doing it again. She's trying to manipulate her audience by discrediting him and saying that his eyes are genuinely scary to her, implying that he's like some sort of predator. Meanwhile, you're the one that had to delete multiple videos for your actions towards minors. You're the one that has multiple nicknames of Abuser Lynn, Diddy Lynn, Predator Lynn, all of these different, situations that are happening with your exes calling you an abuser. Maybe you might want to check yourself, Amber, because I can assure you, if we took a vote right here, right now, in most of the communities, reaction channels, Girl World, even your own followers, most of them would probably feel a lot safer with him rather than you.
If my aunt wants to do this, like I have tea too, honey. She forgets like we're from the same family.
Food I would eat, and for some reason, logged Jordy.
Okay, so obviously she's over there trying to say that I'm mentally unstable and this and that.
You are mentally unstable, love. You are mentally unstable. We're both cut from the same cloth.
Aren't we all in one way or another?
The difference is I'm not sitting here going online and actually ignoring my niece for no reason because I'm in an argument with her mother and then deciding, oh, she's in distress and she's hurting and heartbroken and having anxiety and hyperventilating and everything, but let's make it worse. Like, literally, if she's going to talk about drama from my early 20s or when I was a teenager, like, okay. Oh, weird.
But I haven't been on any medication for, 6-7 years. I did go through 16 years of counseling. But of course, who wouldn't being in my family? That's just being honest.
What?
So I've had my day. I have my diagnoses. I have my labels. But I am mentally sound.
I don't think that anything.
Cannot take the lies, the manipulation, the victim.
The lies and manipulation, the victim. My aunt doesn't know me.
I mean, does she though? Because by the sounds of it, she knows you well enough to know that you're not mentally sound.
My aunt is also psycho. Why do we all have psycho aunts? My aunt does not know me. My aunt does not know me. That's the part that's so fucking unhinged. My aunt does not know me. And the time that we spent together in 2023 in person, I was so sweet and loving. And like, I was like, hell yeah, like I got my aunt back. She's crazy.
The total absolute grossness of this feeder era, I just can't.
Feeder era? My aunt is literally saying feeder era. This is crazy.
I mean, yeah, it does sound a little weird from a personal perspective, but at the same time, Amber talks about herself in third person and mentions each of the eras by name. So, if you're allowed to say the Beck era, the Destiny era, the Wifey era, why can't your aunt? Like, it's no more weird than you referring to yourself in third person.
No more. I just can't. And the final straw really has been building up, and I've been saying it's coming. A person can only hold back so much.
You don't know me. We were fine the last time we spoke. That is the scariest part of this whole thing. That is so sad that you thought you were going to have a good relationship with your aunt. Spencer, you have no fucking idea. Like, I was so excited. Like, genuinely, I was like, hell yeah. Normally I'm like, fuck, okay, I can see it being my fault, but this is like makes no sense.
When have you ever taken any accountability for your actions, Amber? Like, all the relationships breaking down have always been your partner's fault. And even when you're trying to take some accountability, you always act as if your mental health struggles are the main reason and they're a separate entity from you as a person. So there's Amberlynn, but then there's also your mental health issues as two separate individual instances of yourself. So you're not even taking accountability then, it's shifting accountability to your mental health struggles that you refuse to change, adapt, and grow from.
Yeah, Camille, how is this okay? I don't know. I'm genuinely like so confused. I don't think I've been this confused forever. Like, genuinely. And like, my poor mom, holy fuck.
Amber, your mother isn't a crutch in this argument. Leave her alone. She doesn't need any part of this. Like, you want to talk about sobriety and people relapsing and all these issues and not being mentally well? Leave your mother alone. She doesn't need the stress in her life. She doesn't want the stress in her life.
Human at the end of the day. And my sister only hold back so much. I'm human at the end of the day.
I'm human at the end of the day.
My sister and Amber have done me extremely wrong over the last 2 years, and
My sister and Amber have done me extremely wrong in the last 2 years. Where am I? Where am I? Where the fuck am I? Twinkie, pinch me, baby. Pinch me. Is this a dream? A nightmare? I literally just told you guys exactly what it was. I went to her Thanksgiving in 2023. I thought everything was fucking fine with me and her, me and my family, this and that. Besides the fact that my mom and her were fighting or arguing. I would message her randomly asking how she's doing, how's COVID, Merry Christmas. Like, what? She would respond like one, it was dry. Like, it didn't matter to her. She had all these promises of, oh my God, we're going to hang out, we're going to go do this, we're going to do that. But never once did she want to hang out or do this and do that. Once I was finally here. And then the last thing I messaged her, February 2024, was a picture of me and her during Thanksgiving. What was I saying? Oh, dear Heavenly Father. Oh yeah, 2024, sending her a picture of us from Thanksgiving. And we looked happy because we were getting to spend Thanksgiving together. And I was like, love you, miss you. And she did not respond to it. That's when I took the hint. What have I done to you in the last 2 years besides not talk to you because you didn't want to talk to me because of my mom? What?
I do not believe it. I believe there is something in between then and now that happened that caused her to stop or at least pull back. Like, I just don't believe that Amber had no part of the breakdown of the relationship.
How do you did you want to talk about how you felt that they did you wrong, or did you just want to talk about how you feel about?
Can I show the pic of us? Yes, of course I can. And I literally said, miss you and love you. And she never responded. And that's when I took the hint. And that's what I sent her today.
Okay, but I don't really understand what this is going to show because we see the very tail end of the relationship breaking down. What's the rest of the messages look like? I want to see how the past 2 years of Amber and her aunt interacting went because I feel like there's a lot of context we're missing there.
You need to take an acting class? Cass, if you think that knock if someone hearts something that you usually communicate with, yeah, I can see that. But when I sit there and I'm the only one like messaging like how are you? Merry Christmas, like, and you get these like messages back that you could tell this person does not want to communicate with you, and then you try to like open up more and you're like showing them like here's a photo of us, like miss you, love you, and they can't say miss you or love you back. Like it's weird energy. Like it's not black and white. There's more variables that go into it. So yeah.
Exactly, it's not black and white, and I feel like there's context to the situation that we're missing, and Amber's not willing to provide. Now, it might be something as small as her aunt wanting more than just small talk, and Amber not picking up on the hint, which would be the aunt's fault, because you should be able to properly express through communication with words, hey, I need more than just small talk. Hey, I need more than just seeing each other once or twice a year. But at the same time, I feel like Amber would not want to put any effort in and expect her aunt to put in the majority of the effort. Because Amber is someone who is not going to overextend herself for other people. She expects people to come to her and not the other way around. And it becomes exhausting. Like when you're the person that's always putting effort into a relationship, you feel like you don't exist. Like you don't matter to that person. And you're just merely there as a convenience because they don't want to find someone else.
Her relationship.
Well, I mean, it's so much to cover, and I just think I would be talking around and around and around, but I guess that's a place we can start. As a lot of people, you guys have been following her along.
So what I'm getting is you don't know how to get the hint. Alina, that's the point. I did get the hint, so I stopped messaging her. I was like, my aunt wants nothing to do with me, even though I didn't do anything to her.
My honest opinion is that Amber didn't take the hint, but more so didn't really care about the relationship, because she always sees relationships as transactional, and as long as she's getting something out of it, then she'll keep people around. Like, she even said that herself. She keeps people around because they do nice things for her. And I think it was because she didn't have that transactional relationship with her aunt where she probably wasn't getting either emotional support, mental support, or maybe physical interaction out of her. Like she wasn't doing things for Amber, so then she didn't really care that the relationship broke down. Because name a relationship in which Amber has been a part of where she has really cut them off and respected their boundaries. Because every single person has had to cut Amber off at one point or another. Crystal, Casey, Beck, Destiny, Wifey, Erica, Emily, her mother, her aunt, all of these people have had to cut her off at one point or another because Amber doesn't respect their boundaries and she doesn't know when enough is enough. And they have told her, take a step back. This is not your situation. This is not your place. Leave me alone. I need space. And Amber doesn't take no for an answer until she doesn't have the ability to contact them anymore.
So
time, just like me, I've seen every single video she's ever put out. I have tried to be a good aunt to Amber.
You never tried to be a good aunt to me, love. You've never tried to be a good aunt to me. Here I am in the flesh trying to be a good niece for you, and somehow, some way, you wanted me to take your side over my mom's when I said I'm not taking anyone's side. Like, I made that very clear. I loved you and I love my mom. So it's like, why do I always have to pick someone's side? Like, it's so weird.
Okay, so it's starting to come to the surface. Was there another argument in between Thanksgiving and now between your mum and your aunt, and then your aunt decided to cut you off because you took your mum's side? Is that the reason why? And I can agree, like, being forced to pick sides is a shitty thing, and you should be left out of it if you're not part of the conversation or part of the argument. Like, that's not something anyone should ever really force another person to do. But if you were taking your mum's side and your aunt cut you off, you can understand both sides of the situation. Like, you are taking your mum's side, which hurt your aunt, but your aunt shouldn't be making you to pick sides during an argument that doesn't involve you.
The last solid, let's see.
She's saying she's pissed you didn't go to her wedding because you were too big, but went to other places. Yeah, I could not go to her wedding. She's clout chasing, probably. Yeah, I couldn't go to her wedding. And I didn't go to other places. Like, do you know how far away Kentucky is from Oklahoma? Like, I didn't go to other places. I didn't go anywhere.
As an Australian, I did not know how far Kentucky is from Oklahoma, so I decided to look it up. It is about a 13-hour drive, which is a bit of a distance. Like, 13 hours to go there and then 13 hours to go back is a hell of a lot of time to be on the road. Now, I can understand Amber's apprehension to not really want to go to the wedding that's that far away, but at the same time, Amber, you drove 19 hours to go see your girlfriend. So, if you could go do that to get laid, why couldn't you do that to go see your aunt get married?
And do you want to know something really fucking crazy? She got married on my mom's fucking soberversary date. My mom's soberversary is November 1st, and it's going to be, this year will be 10 years. My aunt got married on my mom's 7th soberversary date. Who does that?
I mean, to be honest, that's not really that big of a deal. Like, I feel like people are allowed to celebrate multiple things on one day, and as long as you celebrate them not really equally, but you at least acknowledge that both things happened, then neither party should really be upset about it. I mean, take myself for example. I got a friend who was born on November 1st, and I was born on November 2nd. We will often share one day to celebrate together, so that way our friends don't have to worry about going to two separate parties, usually during the week, so that way we don't have to keep people up for 2 nights in a row. It's just a way of being able to celebrate both people at the same time and make it easier for people all around.
But it's like, you guys wouldn't believe, like, she likes to take people's joy and like turn it into her own. She likes to take people's pain and make it even worse. That is like who she is. Does that make sense?
Amber, you were talking about yourself. You're not even talking about your aunt, you're talking about yourself. Are we supposed to forget the fact that you try to compare your relationship with your parents' relationship? Are we supposed to forget about the blue team, the red team soccer situation? How about the time you were trying to make, Beck's mother's cancer journey and her fighting through cancer about yourself, arguing about your fucking YouTube? How about the situation where Destiny's grandfather had a stroke and then you immediately followed it up with a story about how your grandmother had a stroke, supposedly, which apparently is allegedly fake?
You just didn't want to go to the wedding. No, I couldn't go to the wedding. I did want to. Me and Feline were actually going to go.
No, Amber, you could have. You could have had the full capacity and ability to do so if you wanted to. The thing is, you didn't want to drive 13 hours to go see your aunt get married. Just a joyous occasion, something that really doesn't happen every single day, but you drive 19 hours to go date your feeder.
Mm-hmm.
See, for 13 years, I've tried everything, leading by example.
And you know what's funny? She's mad that I didn't drive like 10 plus hours to go to her wedding because I literally couldn't at that time, especially because it was around the time where I hurt my ankle. Do you guys remember that? I was still healing from that. It was a mess. But yet I am, 15 minutes away from her now? And she never came to see me. Nothing. Ever since Thanksgiving. All because her and my mom got in an argument. That's weird. A true family member wouldn't be so pressed about this. The fuck? Exactly.
Notice how Amber places the blame on her aunt because she's not choosing to go see Amber, who's 15 minutes away, which Amber is also 15 minutes away from her aunt, so she can go see her too. Like, you can take an Uber. I was going to say you can go for a walk, but this is Amber we're talking about. Sorry, I forgot for a second. You could take an Uber.
Exactly. Her love is all performative. Exactly. Yes, crazy things.
Have you thought, Amber, that it's not actually performative? Maybe it's got something to do with the fact that you claimed that your ex-girlfriend is an abuser, mentally, emotionally, physically abusive. So maybe, just maybe, your aunt isn't doing it to be performative. She's doing it to call you and your girlfriend out on your bad behavior, and you're taking it the wrong way because you want to get back in her pants.
I have so many messages and calls and just telling her I'm not trying to replace your mom. I'm just trying to be your person. I've tried to teach her on how to diet and exercise and make good choices and say.
She's tried to teach me how to diet and exercise, even though she's gained all her weight back that she lost when she was doing keto. Like, we're all a flop. Thank you, yo mama. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much.
Okay, and, at one point or another, she was successful. She was losing weight. She was doing really well. Sometimes people struggle with their weight and they gain it back, or they go through some hardship and something happens physically, mentally, emotionally. They gain some weight back. That's just how it is. It goes up and down. Just because you gain some back doesn't mean you can't lose it again. Take myself, for example. I lost over 60 kilos, and when I lost my dog a few months ago, I went into depression and I gained about 10 kilos back. Now, I'm back to being overweight, but I'm going to be losing that weight again. I started, and 2 weeks later, I've already lost nearly 3 kilos again. So sometimes you struggle and you gain weight back. Sometimes you just have a hard period in your life and you can't focus on looking after yourself. And you yourself should know this because you went from what, 380 at the beginning of your journey to 600 down to 480 at the beginning of this year to nearly being 600 again at the midpoint of the year. So maybe check your ego a little because you haven't lost shit.
Yes, XL Hoodie, Tammy had an affair. That is exactly how she met her husband, by cheating on her other husband. Yes, that is correct. Moving on.
I'm sorry, but how can you have such an attitude right now, Amber? Like, oh, my aunt cheated, which honestly, fair enough. If you cheat, you're a pathetic loser, in my opinion. But you have been both a cheater and the other woman multiple marriages. You are not in a place to talk shit, Amber. You are not in a place to judge other people. Get off your high horse.
Save money, and this is even before she blew up on YouTube. Then she blew up on YouTube, and then she gets this, better than everyone else mentality. She keeps all her girlfriends, every single one I have never met, even though I was the one constant in her life.
You never met them because we're in a completely different state, and you did meet Feline the day that Feline dropped me off and you came over here. And everything was literally fine. Like, everything was literally fine. All because you're having an argument with my mom, like, you're taking it out on me. Like, all because you have bed bugs and had to get rid of every single ounce of furniture you have, you're taking it out on me. I didn't give you bed bugs. I didn't do anything to you. I don't know what's happening. I'm almost going to be 35. Our drama that we have is from my mid-20s lower. Like, I'm genuinely just like, what? If you didn't have an online presence, you wouldn't care. Probably not. Like, this is crazy. Yes, the bed bugs.
All right, so I am a little confused about the bed bug situation. Like, I don't know what that's about. Like, I know Amber had bed bugs, but I don't know anything about the ant having bed bugs or why. I think I feel like I'm missing context there. Also, Amber, if you're going to argue time limits on people being mad, stop bringing up your childhood. Stop bringing up things that happened 5, 6, 7 years ago. Because if you're going to do that to your aunt, you have no argument when it comes to childhood trauma then. Because that was even further in the past.
I never got to talk to any of them, of course, so she can keep her narrative straight, right? Yeah. I'm sure she had lots to say about me to each and every one.
Ooh, if the shoe fits, ma'am. If the shoe fits.
But I guarantee you, it wasn't me being the bad guy. I've caught her and posted years and years ago when I was angry before.
She is talking about me in my early 20s. Here she goes. It's like, let's talk about the stuff from like the last 2 years. What did I do to you in the last 2 years, love? Like, what did I do to you in the last 5 years?
Again, what argument is that? If someone gives you a second, third, fourth, fifth chance and you keep doing it over and over again, regardless of how far and in between it is, you show that you're not going to change as a person, Amber. So if you're doing the same thing 10 years ago, or if you're displaying behaviors similar to what you were doing 10 years ago, your aunt is allowed to be mad about what happened 10 years ago because you have not changed from then. Like, what type of argument even is this? And you will bring up your childhood all the goddamn time as some sort of argument or some sort of defense. So you can no longer use that as a way of arguing now. You can't say, well, in my childhood, X happened, so therefore now, I'm allowed to act this way, which that's never been an argument. But now you have even less of a reason to do so because you're setting time limits on how long people can be mad.
Just get to that point where enough is enough. I get a lot of messages you could imagine over the years, and it is a lot to deal with. And she thinks it's okay that she could.
It's a lot to deal with. Honey, you're engaging in it. You're creating that for yourself. Like, what do the haters say? Don't touch the poo? Like, you're not only touching the poo, but you're licking it and eating it. Like,
and put all my sister's business out on there for years, with no cost. Now, talk about my mom, things, people that are in her life now, but she's still bad mouthing them. She's still running the narrative that she's this poor little victim. Amber had more chances than most people do. You know what I mean? Yeah, she came from a drug addicted, abusive household. Oh my God, toxicity galore. Like worst case scenarios. It is true. The difference is she was rescued from that, put into foster care. Every foster care house she went into was better than I had ever dreamed of living in.
I'm sorry, but you know nothing about my foster care experience, and you should not be bringing up my fucking childhood. Like, you're genuinely insane. I did not know you during those times. I did not know you. I met you when I was 17. I think you held me as a baby. And that was it. That was it. I didn't even know you existed.
Yeah, but Amber, that happened like 20, 25 years ago. Like, get over it. You shouldn't be upset anymore.
You know what I mean? She had those opportunities, but she squashed them, and she never...
You don't know what I went through in my foster homes. I have shared bits and pieces of these things.
Never appreciated them. She would talk mad shit,
because I'm allowed to,
Binks, to me over the phone while they're in the... Talk mad shit even about them to me over the phone while they're in their, huge house and swimming in their pool and feeding her. Never good enough.
Where am I at? I'm in a huge house with a pool getting fed? And I'm yelling on the phone? I literally feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I genuinely am so confused.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really know much about the foster care situation with Amber, so I can't really have an opinion, but I mean, it's not like you were starving.
Her playing the Trauma Olympics is wild. Yeah. I have 4 aunts, and I cannot imagine them doing something like this no matter what I did. Not saying you did anything to deserve this, but oh my gosh, Catherine, it's insane. It is insane.
So this goes way, way, way back. Way back. Everyone knows my sister was in prison, right? My sister was in prison for strangling our mom in a drunken rage. She loved to spread that. Never a dime on her books. It was me every single month.
When my mom was in prison, I didn't have much money. I can definitely admit to that. I did not have much money at all. And the fact that she's like throwing that out is crazy. And not only that, but when my mom was in prison, like me and my mom did not have a good relationship at all. My mom chose drugs over me yet again. I moved all the way to Oklahoma to be with her when I was 18 after getting out of foster care. And my mom would leave me home while she, like, I had nothing. I genuinely had nothing. I had nobody. I had nothing. My mom and my grandma would leave me alone to go to the bars, to drink, to do drugs, and I was just left there. As an 18-year-old, I was reliving my childhood all over again. And this is not something that I ever wanted to fucking sit here and talk about, but like, why is she doing this? Like, I'm literally shocked.
I could definitely agree that the situation that Amber came from was toxic, but at the age of 18, a lot of people have part-time or full-time jobs by then. So let's not pretend like you were some innocent 6-year-old that had no money, no way of supporting yourself, no way of being able to earn an income so that way you can look after yourself. And yeah, at 18, you're still very much a child, but at least you have the ability to be somewhat independent. Like, you have a not fully developed brain, but you're developed enough to be able to have some sort of independency.
So when I was kicked out of Oklahoma, like, me and my mom did not have a good relationship at all. And for my mom to be in prison, I was grateful because that means not only was she sober, but like she had a roof over her head. She was no longer homeless. She was no longer bouncing from man to man. She was no longer doing the drugs and the alcohol and the this and the that. And like, I'm so glad that she's the woman that she is today. And for my aunt to just like, I don't know the words for it, but to make it all like come up again and like the trauma of it all, like, it's not okay. Like, it's not okay. It's genuinely not. As someone who had been through this system that is vile, your aunt acted like that was a positive. That shit can be trauma-inducing, Spencer. It is. It is. It really is.
I can definitely agree what Amber went through as a child was pretty shitty, and nobody should ever have to be forced to go through a foster home system. Like, it's a very terrible thing to have to deal with, and it can be very trauma inducing. But Amber has had it very lucky as both a teenager and as an adult, because she's been very sheltered for the majority of her life. And I don't think her aunt was saying, like, oh, she had the best of the best out there. She was more fortunate to have a better situation than a lot of other kids that have come from broken homes, just like Amber. That is what her aunt is trying to say. Not saying that Amber was, the luckiest kid in the world.
This is crazy. Yeah, this is my mom's sister. My mom is so hurt and shocked by this, and wait until she hears, like, what's happening now. My mom is gonna be so hurt. I hate when my mom's fucking hurting. She doesn't deserve any of this fucking drama and stress. Like, she doesn't.
I think at this point it's pretty obvious that Amber doesn't really understand where her aunt is coming from, and it's because her aunt is a guardian and Amber is always the person that's been taken care of. So it's two very different dynamics. And for a lot of people who are guardians, especially from a very young age and for a very long time, you develop a sense of self about only being that thing. Your personality is being molded around the person that you're taking care of. And I think that's what it is for her aunt. Like, she spent so long trying to look after Amber and look after her sister that she's developed a personality about being a keeper and being a guardian and nothing really else. Because you can hear it a lot. I am my sister's keeper. I try to be Amber's keeper. I try to be my mom's keeper, look after them, do what's best for them, try to help them the best way I can, give them what they need, overextend yourself in order to, make sure that they're okay. And you can hear it, like, she's really hurt about them not realizing that she's trying to help and she's trying to better them and they're taking it the wrong way. That's what I think Aunt Tammy is really coming from. And I've seen it a lot. It happens a lot with parents, like especially mothers and people who are taking care of the elderly or their sick children or their sick family members. Like, they develop an entire personality about just being said thing. So when that thing is no longer around, it always becomes like a very anxiety-inducing thing. It's like, okay, who am I as a person? What do I do? How do I have a life now? Like, how do I create myself? Like, who am I as a person? What are the things that I enjoy doing? What am I going to do with my life? And I think that's what it is right now for Aunt Tammy. She's kind of hurt about the fact that she wanted to help Amber for so long, and Amber, as a narcissist, has never taken hold of the ability of wanting to be in Aunt Tammy's life and have Aunt Tammy as a guardian because Amber can't get physical transactions out of her. And with her sister, she's now sober and she's working and she's got her own place. She's building up and developing as a human being. And now they're not talking. It's like, all right, what do I do with myself? Also, she probably feels a little bit of resentment of, I did so much for so long and now I'm not part of your life. And you toss me aside now, like, all the things that I did don't matter. So I can understand her being hurt.
Every single month, I paid her fines with her, I visited her, I did video calls, I drove long distances.
When my mom was in prison, I didn't even write her. Like, I wrote her this whole long thing. It was like updating her on my life, and I'm a very long-winded type person. And like, I was gonna send it. But something was telling me not to. Like, and then after my mom got out of prison, me and my mom did not talk for years. My mom and I did not have a good relationship. Like, you guys have no idea. And then it was when I was diagnosed with cancer. That is when her and I got really close again. Like, so I always look at it as like, me being diagnosed with cancer fucking sucked ass. Like, genuinely, but it brought me and my mom together. Me and my mom have had a rough. It's been rough. Like, it's been rough. And like, when I was in foster care, my parents, my whole life, they didn't help me with anything. Like, obviously, I'm in foster care. I was neglected. And for my aunt to be sitting here, well, Amberlynn didn't give money to her mom when she was in prison. I'm sorry, but I didn't. But now if my mom needs anything, I'm there for her. This is so fucked up. Like, what is happening? This is genuinely shit.
And this right here is the reason why people are bringing this stuff into question, Amber, because it's obvious that you still harbor some sort of resentment towards your mother. And it's understandable. It's a very hard thing to get over. But you can't do the same thing over and over and over again and then be like, oh, well, that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years ago. Like, why are you still mad? You hold resentment towards your mother still for the things that she did while you were a child. Understandable. Like, I agree. It is a very hard thing to get over, and you are allowed to feel how you want to feel. But you can't tell other people to not feel a certain type of way for the things that you have done 5, 10 years ago. This right here is a perfect example of why you do not place time limits on anger.
Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm just like literally in awe right now.
When my sister was homeless on the streets, I yelled for her name at the top of my lungs for 8 solid months in very dangerous neighborhoods looking for my sister. I have the picture of the day I found my sister. One of the happiest days of my life, but it's not even when she got well. It still took a while. It took her to go to prison. Amber loves to talk
period. Anyone would say that. If you were a foster kid, you were a victim. You are literally the most unsympathetic, unempathetic. I'm your fucking niece. And this is what you're doing. I am your niece. I am your fucking niece. And I did nothing to you. What did I do to you in the last 5 years? What did I do? I'm like literally like, what is happening?
Again, at this point, I really think that Amber doesn't understand where her aunt is coming from, but also her aunt probably doesn't understand fully what Amber went through as a child. And it's not really either of their fault, because you have to be in the shoes of the other person to 100% fully understand. It's a little bit of ignorance on both sides, so I think they're both partially at fault. But at the same time, Amber, you did not just lose a mother. Like, your aunt lost her sister, and for 8 months, she had no idea where her sister is, what was going on, whether or not she was even alive. That is very detrimental to a lot of people's mental health. Like, that can be seriously crippling mentally. And to have to continue holding hope that your sister is alive and just out there somewhere and you need to find her, you don't understand what that's like, because you were off living another life at that time. You didn't really care. Like, let's not, like, sure, she might have cared about, is my mother okay, what's going on, like that, but that would be fleeting thoughts, not in comparison to what your aunt was probably going through, looking for your sister day in and day out.
She was in prison. I would beg her, write your mom. Yet Stan, she won't even buy the shit.
I just explained to you guys why I did not write my mom, and I know a lot of you would understand that.
Well, I have the text. She's not worth the 42-cent stamp.
Yeah.
But even though Amber didn't want to help her mom ever, she always expected me to. And I did, time and time and time again. I no longer let my sister into my home because she abused me over and over and over. She used drugs and alcohol in my home behind my back when I'm giving her a roof over her head and clothes on her body. I tried everything for my sister. Everything. And when she disrespected me the last time, I told her, you need to get out. Because number one, this is my house. And if you're not going to respect me...
Shim Tempora, you're only supporting her because it's drama for me. That's the only reason why. And it took me a long time to get here, but I genuinely, like, it took me a long time to get to the point where it's like, these people don't actually, like, believe most of this stuff. It's just drama for you. It's just drama for you. That's what you love. That is what you're getting off on. I'm not super an Amber lover, just a watcher, but she's not in the wrong here. Her aunt is really wrong for talking about Amberlynn's childhood. The whole thing is crazy.
I mean, honestly, yeah, like, this is a form of entertainment to me, and you can say that's morbid and kind of gross or whatever, negative way you want to spin it, but that's what it is. You chose to make your private life public, and we get to watch it.
Marzipan, I get it, but I need to, like, stick up for myself.
My house, you don't have a place to stay. Amber was there visiting me before my sister even got there, and we were good. We were really good.
We were good because I feel like my own aunt love bombed me. I visited her when I was 17, and everything was good. And I was there for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. I was there with my brother. And we went and we did things. We went camping. We swam in like this man-made beach. Like, we went bowling. We did all kinds of things. Like, and then I move in when I'm 18, and then we do nothing. And it's miserable. Like, it was misery upon misery upon misery. They didn't even have enough money to get food or anything. So I went and got food stamps. And I remember I sat there, and I was approved for food stamps. And I was like, I'm so glad that I was able to help. That's all I said. My aunt went crazy. That was the first time we ever like had a true big argument. She went crazy because all I said was like, I'm glad I'm able to help, because I gave her all my food stamps. Like, it was just like, I felt like I was walking on eggshells. No, truly I was walking on cockroaches, because her whole home was nothing but cockroaches. That's a whole different story. Like, oh my god, I'm like scarred for life on that one. I mean, I grew up with cockroaches. Like, the trailer that I lived in, it was moldy cockroach mice. It was crazy. So,
Jesus friggin' Christ. Like, as someone who does love bombing a lot, you would think Amber would know what that actually is. Her trying to make you feel welcome because you are going through shit at your own home with your own family members by welcoming you into her home and doing fun things is not love bombing. She's trying to give you some normalcy in your life, taking you out to do fun things that you weren't able to do when you were living with your parents. Like, oh my god. The perpetual need to be a victim with this woman is ridiculous. Like, your aunt did not have money to support really herself or her own children, but she actively tried to make you feel good and take you out to do things, even though she was making sacrifices in other areas of her life. And you tried to victimize yourself by her doing those things. Like, peak level narcissism right there.
but my aunt is not a victim here. She's not innocent. She's none of these things. And everything that happened when I was a teenager, early 20s, mid 20s, it's so dumb. It's so dumb to be bringing up now, because it's things that we all have moved past. But it's apparent to me that she holds on to grudges and she holds on to this bitterness. But that is not who I am as a person. I move on. I moved to Oklahoma. I was so excited to build a relationship with her, and all because her and my mom were in an argument. Like, she's taking it out on me. It's crazy behavior. It's crazy behavior.
And it's funny to me that Amber is the one constantly saying, we forgave each other, we moved on, we have a better relationship, when she's 99% of the reason why drama arises in said relationships. Like, oh, I chose to forgive and move on. For what? Like, the majority of the shit that went down is because of you. They have to forgive you, not the other way around. And yeah, sure, they probably have done some stuff too, but in comparison to what you have probably done to them, is probably minor to nothing. Like, nothing at all.
But because her mom was there, she wanted to get smart with me. So I told her, Amber, if you don't like it, you can go with her.
Like I just told you, she kicked out my mom, and at the time, I'm 18 years old. I'm finally with my mom again. I stuck up for my mom, and I was on my mom's side. So that is the only reason why my aunt kicked me out, is because I was on my mom's side.
Yeah, and what did you do again, Amber? You threatened to blackmail her by saying that if she did not bring your mum back, that you were going to tell her abusive husband and put her in potential physical danger that she cheated on him. Which I'm not condoning, but what you did is far worse. That being said, this is going to be the end of the video. We are halfway through the live stream. I will be coming back for a second part, hopefully on the next Tuesday or Thursday, depending on which day this one is uploaded. I do apologize. I had been a little bit over the place, but hopefully we will get through the other 50 live streams in a timely manner. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully get to see you lovely people in the next one. Bye-bye.